Okay, so let's talk about what it takes to keep your audience engaged with emails. Because, you want your audience to keep coming back. And if you're not writing things that people want to hear, then, that's the whole issue. So, now you've gotten them on your list, you've been able to, been able to get someone to open your email, and now it's time they want to hear more from you, but you got to be interesting as well. So first of all, you need to know your audience, and we keep coming back to this: is who is your avatar, who are you going after, and a lot of it comes to what is their pain points, what are they struggling with, what are they having problems with. Depending upon your market, that's what you want to dive into. So a lot of what I dive into is how do you write email. Their pain points is how do I write an email, how do I figure out how to do it, or how do I market, and who is my actual customer. And so you really want to make sure that you are directing it to those right people and whatever their pain points are. And so if you know what it is, then that's great. If you don't know what it is, then it's going to be hard. And unfortunately, you can talk about positive things, and positive things are good. The issue is people aren't going to open up unless you can solve their problem and understand their pain. And so that's really what you want to dive into a lot. Your avatar is going to have pain points and issues, objections, and things like that they're gonna need help with, and so that's a really good way. The other thing is to provide consistent value. So if you're just giving them fluff or a lot of cliche things, you're just giving them, whatever, or you're just pitching them all the time. A lot of people get on emails lists and they become an affiliate. It's like, okay, today I'm going to sell you this. And the reason is because I want you to buy this. And you want to recommend products, your products, other products, and things like that. And definitely want to do that. But you got to do it in a way where you give value. So if you're going to sell a product, you got to give what it's going to do for them, what other information you can give about them that solves their problem about it. And if you've given them value previously and today, then they're going to be more likely to buy from you. But if you keep talking about just buy my stuff, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread type of marketing, then they're not going to buy from you. That's not the way it works anymore. So you want to definitely do that. You want them to feel like they're getting value every email you send them. And so if you send them a tip, it doesn't have to be a lot. A lot of times we try to overload people as well, and that's a mistake as well, especially in this day and age. There's so much information. So it's about giving the right information, not about giving more information. So make sure that you're paring it down, because it's better to give a 10-point checklist or 2-point checklist versus, a novel on something that, may or may not be that interesting to them. And then use a conversational tone. Obviously, you want to write like you talk. Nobody wants to be formally spoken to about whatever thing they're doing, or using large words that no one really knows or understands. You're probably using them incorrectly anyway. And so, light and conversational, you want to be approachable. Again, it's talking to one person on your email list. So we have a huge email list, but it's just like talking to one person. And so that's really what you want to do. It's like, hey, how you doing? I wanted to show this to you today. I have this cool thing that I learned, and I wanted to share it with you. That's a conversational type of email versus, some sort of scientific jargon or something like that. So that's what you want to do. You want to do that. And the next thing is to include a story. So a lot of times, you have things that happen in your life where, hey, I went to it could be mundane things too. It's like, hey, I went to the grocery store, and at the grocery store, I realized that, especially if you're doing like a health thing or something like that, when I looked through the aisles, I realized how much garbage there was. But if I stuck to this part of the grocery store, I found the things that I liked, and these were some cool things that I found that you may not know you can get at a grocery store. Or if it's marketing, it's like, hey, I was trying to email my list, and I realized that this email subject line was getting more opens than ever, and this is what it was, for example. And it's like, if you want to know more about this, sign up for my other program where I have more information on that. So those are things that you want to use stories and to relate to people as well, because everybody likes a good story. We grew up hearing stories, so the more stories you can tell, more personal it becomes as well, because you're sharing part of your experience with someone else and giving them information. So that's kind of how it works. And of course, mix it up. You don't want to do one thing the same way every single time. Every time it's something a little bit different. You can do the same a few times and then change a little bit. And so that's really great. You could do little videos, you could do visuals, you can just do text. I know a lot of people do text, but mix it up. Mix up what you're talking about versus just the same thing every single time. So you want to keep them interested and not know what's really going to come next. Okay? So those are the things I want you guys to consider when you're writing emails and keeping your audience engaged.